On the east side of Jerusalem's Old City is the most contentious real estate in the world, the Temple Mount, the Dome of the Rock. On the Old City's west side could be the second most contentious real estate, a landmark building, the Imperial Hotel. It's a dispute between a Jewish group, Ataret Kohanim, and a prominent Arab family who both hold documents of a 99-year lease to the historic hotel at Jaffa Gate.
This hotel was built in 1893 and it was finished in 1898, and one of the first guests at that time was the German Kaiser, Wilhelm. Being on Jaffa Gate, actually, this is the entrance to the Old City, and to the left side of the hotel there is the Catholic Patriarchate, on the right hand side the Greek Orthodox Patriarchate, and the presence of the Christians are on site here on Jaffa Gate. Unfortunately, allow me to say that only 1% now of the Christians are staying inside the Old City. Everybody migrated, everybody left. There used to be 8%. And now this is the location where the Christians are living. So when I come from home, I come inside the Jaffa Gate, and then I look to the walls and I see the walls are crying now, because without Christians and without Christianity and without having anybody inside Jaffa Gate, this Jerusalem is gone. Jerusalem means nothing.
After a 14-year legal battle, the Israeli Supreme Court ruled in favor of the Ataret Kohanim's claim to a lease on the hotel. The building itself is owned permanently by the Greek Orthodox Church and stands in what is known as the Christian quarter of the Old City. The Ataret Kohanim declined to an interview, citing the ongoing legal issues of a new court challenge by the church. A major objective of the Ataret Kohanim is to restore a Jewish majority in the Old City and Arab neighborhoods of East Jerusalem, using overseas tax shelters to buy property.
These people are destroying the image of the state of Israel. They should not interrupt the everyday living of these people, even though with all the money and the support they're getting from friends abroad, and especially from the US. This is not the way to pay money. Go and pay money for poor people. Go and pay money for old age homes. Go and pay money for education. Go and pay money, places to give food to people, but not to destroy not to destroy human beings, not to destroy people who have their rights to live on earth. No, no. Money has not to go in this respect.
For 70 years, the lease, or key money as it's called, has been granted by the church to the family of Walid Dajani, who traces his ancestral links to Jerusalem, going back hundreds of years and holding the ceremonial keys to King David's tomb on Mount Zion.
Can you believe, being here for 70 years, we have the contract to go for 3 generations, which is 400 years to come, and not the other group of people. We have the full right to stay. We are protected. We have protected tenancy.
In 2004, the Ataret Kohanim approached the Imperial's owner, the Orthodox Church, and began negotiating a 99-year lease on the building with a secular businessman claiming to have power of attorney of the Greek Orthodox Patriarch at the time. This man drafted an agreement to sell the lease for $1.25 million and was paid this fee. Months later, the man reportedly disappeared from Israel.
1,800 square meters on Jaffa Gate, the prime spot in Jerusalem, the center of the world, 48 rooms to be given away for $1,250,000. For God's sake, you cannot buy a house now in Jerusalem, 80 square meters, 50 miles away from Jerusalem for this money. I am addressing the whole world. I am addressing those people who is watching me. Is this fair? Is this logical for you? Please, if this is, I'm going to leave this house tomorrow. If not, then stand by us. Stand by justice.
So the central dispute is that two parties, the Ataret Kohanim and the Dajani family, both hold a lease on the same property. The Dajanis have held protected tenancy, but that agreement has now been overturned by the Israeli Supreme Court. This decision potentially sets a precedent for thousands of other homes and businesses in Israel who hold a similar protected tenancy lease.
Justice has to prevail one day. We have to stay here. We're not going to move from here. Our love to the people, our love to Jerusalem, our love to the Islamic people, to the Christian world, to the Jew, will not move us from this building.
While the church is seeking a further court hearing, citing new evidence, the Ataret Kohanim have been given a judgment to freeze all bank accounts of the Dajani family and ordered them to leave the building and pay almost $3 million in what they claim is backdated rent.
These people, they have the full support of the government. I am going to do what is possible to do in order to keep this house. We people, we care for humanity. This is the most important thing, that we care for these guests to come in, stay by us, and being with us, it's a great support. Not only for me, but always to keep the Christianity, to keep Christians inside the old city, and to keep even the love of everybody, the three monastic religions, to come inside the old city.
Walid Dajani and his cousin, Dr. Mohammed Dajani, have been ambassadors of goodwill and bridge builders in Jerusalem. Professor Dajani is an acknowledged expert on the Holocaust, even taking Palestinian students to visit Auschwitz. Walid Dajani has trained a generation of Arabs in hotel management and is appreciated by Christian pilgrims from around the world.
3 weeks ago, His Beatitude came to the hotel because he made a mass just outside the hotel with all the other bishops and patriarchs of Jerusalem to save the property, to save us, and to tell the world that to pray for the Dajani family not to be evicted. He came in here and he said the same thing, and he addressed even the Prime Minister of Israel, and he addressed the head of state of Israel to stand by him, to stand by justice, and to keep the Dajani out in this building, so as this will say also forever for the Greek Orthodox Patriarchate, and we shall do always our best to keep this property for. And I always thank His Beatitude. He has great worries. He has been to the US last week, and he has met with many senators, and I hope these senators have listened to him, and they will support him because he needs the support.
Two parties contesting the same lease. It's a potentially serious dispute, endangering the peace of Jerusalem and requiring Israel to apply the wisdom of Solomon to resolve this matter in a just and fair way.
You know, the thing that made me really proud of myself, that last week when I received the papers, the foreclosure, the employees saw me and they came in the second day telling me, Abu Amir, Mr. Dajani, we don't need any salaries this month. I don't know, I cannot tell you this. They have families to support, they have children, schools are soon coming up, and they're giving me their money. I'm asking the world to pray for justice. Pray for justice. Pray for justice. We cannot say this costs 100 million or 200 million or 500 million. It is as much important as the White House in the US, and being here at the Imperial Hotel inside Jaffa is one of the most beautiful buildings inside the whole city. Is the White House for sale, for God's sake, ladies and gentlemen? Can we buy the White House? I'm asking you, I'm asking those audience, I'm asking those people who care about humanity in this world. Can we buy the White House? If the White House is for sale, then this house is for sale.